All right, so welcome to Tranquility Base. So I initially planned to camp on Pew Tor, which is behind me there. I don't know if you can see that. But there was like no flat land over there at all, basically. Really rocky as well. And I tried driving a tent peg into the ground in a couple of places and it was just like impossible, basically. So then I went over to Heckworth Tor, which I think is that one behind me there. But that was the same story. There weren't any flat patches of ground. So I was basically like not really sure what to do and kind of could see a little bit of flat ground over here. So I thought I'll just try over here, which is called Heather Tor, I think. And what do you know? There was a little bit of flat grass where I could set up my tent. It's not the most sheltered location. It's not too bad. I mean, like you can see behind me, there is some kind of shelter. It's just like, obviously in that direction, there's not really much shelter at all, but that's what your tent's for, right? So I'm gonna have dinner now. All right, so I just had some chow, which was a lovely tomato and basil dehydrated pasta meal from Tesco, paired with some nice slices of chorizo as well. Then for pudding, some flapjack, nice thick little flapjack, which was great. This is, I guess, a hiking and wild camping channel now. I haven't made a YouTube video for like 5 years. Obviously, like when I started this channel back then, I was really, really into road cycling and doing loads of it. My goal was to become like a semi-pro hill climbing cyclist. And it didn't really pan out, unfortunately, due to a pretty bad injury that I sustained as a result of cycling, which meant that I basically just couldn't do it anymore. When that happened, it was honestly, it felt like someone had died. It just felt like my whole life had been like pulled out from underneath me. And suddenly I just had no, like, I don't want to say no purpose, but like I'd kind of settled on this idea of what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And it was impossible. I just couldn't do it anymore. That was horrible, but it led me to some great experiences at the same time, because as a result of that happening, it sort of led me to reevaluate my life in many ways. I ended up basically selling all of my bike stuff and all of my other possessions to raise money to go traveling in Asia, which I did for like 8 months, which was just the best experience of my life, I would say. Over the past few years, really, when I went traveling in Asia, I kind of discovered hiking, because I'd never really done that much hiking before. And I found traveling in Asia on like a shoestring budget, one of the best things you can do when you're traveling and you don't have loads of money is to hike. And there are, some amazing places to hike in all of the countries I went to. Probably the highlight of my hiking experience is hiking up Mount Fuji, which was just unreal. Like even now when I think about it, I can't believe that I actually did that. It's kind of insane to me. Then ever since then, it's been in the back of my mind like, God, I really, really want to get into like, I don't want to say proper hiking, because a hobby doesn't have to be your entire personality for it to be your hobby. That, which is a discovery I've only made quite recently, but I've wanted to get like really into it for a long time and haven't really been able to for various reasons, mostly just due to like work stuff and not really being in a place, like geographical place, where there were like good places to hike and camp and stuff. But now I'm back in the UK, probably for the foreseeable future. And there are lots of good hiking and wild camping places here. So I thought, okay, now's the time. I'm not going to put this off anymore. And I'm not going to limit myself by saying, oh, I need to save up X amount of money so I can buy a good wild camping setup before I do it. Because you don't have to spend all of this money that YouTubers tell you have to spend in order to get into a hobby and enjoy it. Like you can do it on a shoestring budget and the level of enjoyment is going to be quite similar. So that's basically what my life has been from when I stopped making videos up to now. But yeah, it's good to be back. I'm using the same camera, the very same camera I used to use when I made videos all those years ago. If I'd known when I bought this camera that I was going to be still using it 5-6 years later, I probably would have gone for the slightly more expensive model and not the cheapest one that I could find. But you never know when you get into these things how long it's going to last. So yeah, there we go. Well, just had some delicious high protein porridge from Lidl. And now it's time for a nice cup of cha. Lots of people like to drink coffee when they're out doing wild camping. I've seen people have like a little espresso sized mocha pot or like the little 3-in-1 bags of instant coffee. I can't be bothered with all of that, to be honest. So I just thought tea comes in bags. So I'll just be a tea drinker when I'm out on the trail. Yeah, so it is really, as you can see, it's really, really misty this morning. Good thing I've got GPS or I would be totally lost. Right, so I'm nearly at the end now, just coming back to the car park. I just can't believe how bad the visibility is out here today. It's probably less than 50 meters, I would say. Less than 20 meters, perhaps. Glad I'm not going to be hiking through this all day, to be honest with you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.